He won't be there. It's not a rumor, it's not a guess, and it's not the usual vet skipping a few reps. It's Jalen Ramsey, not walking through those doors when the Dolphins kick off mandatory minicamp. He's not just taking a breather. And this isn't one of those holdouts where everyone smiles through gritted teeth, pretending it's fine. It's not fine. And the quiet around it is deafening. You don't just stay home during minicamp unless something's broken. And even if they're calling it mutual, like both sides just sat down and reached the same conclusion, does that even make sense? If Ramsey didn't ask to leave, and the team didn't push him out, then why is he gone? That kind of silence usually means something bigger is festering beneath. This all started months ago, but no one paid real attention until now. Jalen signed his extension in September, locked in until 2026, and by all accounts, everything looked settled. He was supposed to be a cornerstone, a tone setter. He missed time in 2023 with that knee injury, but bounced back like a machine. Didn't miss a single start after returning. Played with force. Played like it meant something. And now he's the one off the grid? Chris Greer can say all the right things. He can stand in front of the press and mention conversations, joint understandings, contract reflections. But that's not what this feels like. It feels like a breakup where neither side wants to say who left who first. That kind of awkward non-drama. The one where everyone's smiling too hard. And now it's real. Now there's no Ramsey walking the sidelines. No Ramsey barking at rookies. No Ramsey breaking up reps or baiting Tua into picks during scrimmages. Just air. Just a gap where the alpha used to be. The locker room isn't going to admit it's strange. Of course not. You won't hear Javon Holland say a word. Not publicly. But they feel it. You don't lose someone like Ramsey and just move on like it's next man up. Because who's that next man? A fifth-round pick? A corner off the street? No, this isn't a plug-and-play loss. So what changed? The money. It always does. Ramsey's 2025 salary is a wall. $25 million guaranteed. $21 million for any team that takes him now. The Dolphins already tossed him a $4 million bonus, so they're not recouping that. They're bleeding money for a player who might never suit up again in teal and orange. And maybe that's the part that made Greer flinch. You pay him like he's still Ramsey prime, but is he? Ramsey's not old, but he's not 24 anymore. He's 30. And even though he made another Pro Bowl last season, even though his instincts still look like Jedi reflexes, this league doesn't pay for legacy. It pays for tomorrow. And tomorrow, you've got to wonder, is he still the guy? But if he's not the guy, then why did they wait until pick 150 to take a cornerback in the draft? Why not earlier? Why pass on blue chippers if you knew your top corner was checking out? That's the part that doesn't add up. Unless they didn't know. Unless Ramsey made the decision after the draft. Or maybe the front office knew all along and just didn't care. Maybe they're already building something else. Quietly. Away from the spotlight. Anthony Weaver's scheme is going to be different. Everyone knows that. Different spacing, different reads, a whole new rhythm. Ramsey fits in any scheme, at least on paper, but maybe this new system doesn't need a high-dollar alpha. Maybe it needs flexibility, youth, cheaper versatility. Maybe Ramsey doesn't belong in the blueprint anymore. That doesn't mean he's washed. It means the page turned before he expected. And now the trade buzz gets louder. But it's not about where he's going. It's about who's willing to take the hit. Because it's not just the talent you're buying. It's the contract, the timeline, the history of injury. You're not just betting on Jalen Ramsey, the player. You're betting on the idea that he's still elite, still dominant, still hungry. You think teams are lining up to pay $21 million to a 30-year-old? You think that kind of deal comes easy? And if it doesn't, then what? Does Miami cut him? Do they eat the dead cap and call it a lesson learned? Do they hope he changes his mind and walks back into camp like nothing happened? That's the gamble. That's the entire gamble. Because Ramsey doesn't seem like the type to bluff. If he's staying home now, he's made peace with walking away from this chapter. You don't skip mandatory camp unless you've drawn a line. And when a player like that draws a line, you better believe there's a plan. And what if the trade doesn't happen? What if no one calls? Then what? Does Miami welcome him back with a smile and pretend it was just a miscommunication? Does McDaniels slide him back into drills and hope the locker room forgets this ever happened? That's not how teams operate. Not when the money's this high and the stakes this sharp.